Hello and welcome back. In this session, we will take a look at functions in Python. A function is nothing but a sequence of statements that executes in a certain order. And this function is represented by a particular name. With functions, we can achieve code reusability. Okay, function is nothing but a set of instructions or statements grouped together by providing a name. By calling that method or function, we will invoke that function. There are two types of functions. One is user-defined functions and built-in functions. We have already seen built-in function. Print is a built-in function. With list also we have seen some of the built-in functions. With tuple we have seen some of the built-in functions. So those are all predefined functions which are available in a library. We can also define our own functions and we can give our own name for the function. Those functions are called user-defined functions. We can define a function by using def keyword, which is define followed by function name, and it will have arguments. So we will talk about this in detail when we look at the example. So let us look at the example. Let us open up PyCharm. Let me comment out all the code before. Functions. Okay, so we are looking at user defined functions here. As I said, function will contain this keyword called def and the name of the method. So let us call name of the method as print name followed by parenthesis. So inside parenthesis you can have different arguments which are separated by comma. Say for example a comma b comma c. Okay, you can have arguments within the parenthesis. This should be followed by colon, and the indentation, as I said earlier, is very important, and this is applicable to functions also. Okay, since function will have group of statements bundled together. Okay, so here, so this print is a built-in function. Print my name is RajTech-Trainer. This is a function definition. By default, it won't get executed until and unless we call the function. So how do we call this function? So this is the definition of a function. Definition and calling a function. So we can call the function by function name. The function name is print name followed by parenthesis. So this is our function name here. Okay, so let me execute this. So here it is printing this, my name is RajTech-Trainer. Suppose say if I want to specify this name, then what we can do is we can pass in a particular parameter here. Okay, the parameter is name, and inside this function we can print the name here. Now name will become an argument for this particular function. So earlier whatever we have seen is a plain simple function without any arguments. So now we have one argument here. So how do we call this method? So print name followed by, say for example, Anil Kumar. So whenever we call this method, it will go and invoke this method with the same name. And the parameter which we have passed here is Anil Kumar. Now this name variable will store this Anil Kumar, and this gets printed with the name here. So let me execute this. Okay, my name is Anil Kumar. Now I will modify this so that it takes two arguments, first name and second name or last name. My name is first name comma L name. Okay, since we are calling this particular method or function with two parameters, so I will change this to Anil and Kumar. Okay, let me execute this now. It says my name is Anil Kumar. In this case we have provided two arguments. So F name will store Anil and L name will store Kumar. So this is nothing but parameterized function. The function which has got arguments. Okay, so with function now we have only one statement here. So we can also add multiple statements here. For example, name is printed above. So if I execute this, my name is Anil Kumar, name is printed above. So this is set of statements which gets executed whenever we invoke this particular function. If I want to specify default value for a particular argument, then how do I do it? So this example is for providing default values to arguments. Let me define a function here called multiply, and I will specify num1 here, and I will give the default value as 4 and num2 default value as 2, followed by colon, and I'm going to print the value here as num1 multiplied by num2. Okay, now how do we call this function with the default values? So if I don't specify any values here, okay, I just provide only the method name followed by parenthesis, so no arguments within the parenthesis. So if I execute this, so let me comment out the earlier one, okay, and execute this. So this will print 8. By default it will take these default values. However, if I specify the values here, okay, if I specify only one value, then num1 will be replaced with value of 5. Okay, the other one will be taken as the default value. However, if I specify 5 and 4, that means both values, then it will take 5 and 4 as num1 and num2 and then 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. So this is how you can provide the default values. So if you haven't specified any values when calling this particular function, then it will assume these default values. Sometimes we will not know how many arguments we will be passing to a particular function. At that time we can make use of arbitrary arguments. So this can be by using star. For example, define colors with star color. So print, for example, color of 2, for example. Now in this case we can pass in colors red, blue, green, orange. Okay, so here I'm passing 4 values. However, if I pass in five values also. So here I have defined a colors method which takes arbitrary arguments. So that means the calling function can pass in any number of arguments. Okay, however, I'm printing colors of 2 here. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, so this is 0, 1 and 2. However, within this colors you can loop through also. So you can use for loop. So let me change this to black here. Let me change this to black here and re-execute. So now it will print green and black. So here I'm passing 4 arguments and here I'm passing 5 arguments. So by using star before the variable name, we can make this particular function to take arbitrary arguments. We can also have key value arguments. Key is equal to value. So this is how we can pass in key value arguments. For example, so I want to print full name and here L name comma F name, that is last name and first name. So inside this print first name comma last name. Okay, we are going to print the full name. So while calling this particular method print full name, we can provide F name is equal to Raj and L name is equal to Kumar. Okay, so print full name is taking first argument as L name and second argument as F name. However, what we are providing here is we are providing key value here. So this key F name is the key, so which is going to hold Raj and L name will hold Kumar. So the key should be same as your argument name. Okay, so let me execute this. Before that, let me comment. Okay, it prints Rajkumar instead of Kumar and Raj. However, if you look at this, L name is the first argument, F name is the second argument. However, while calling, I am providing F name first and L name next. So this key is mapped to this argument here, and this key is mapped to this argument of this particular function. So that is why I get Rajkumar rather than Kumar Raj. It is not necessary that we have to pass in only the string value to a particular function. You can also pass in, tuple list, integer values, as we have seen earlier. So anything can be passed to this particular function. Okay, and we can also have for loop, if condition within the method or function. Let us take a look at how do we return the result. Till now we were printing the value within the function. So if you want to return a particular value, so how do we do it? Okay, for example, so I want to print the square of a number. Square of number. Okay, so here I'm going to print this num multiplied by num. Okay, let me comment this out, and then let me call this function square of 2, for example. Okay, now this is printing 4. However, instead of printing the 4 here, I want to get the value back to this calling method. This function should return this value of 4 to this calling function. Instead of print, we can make use of a return keyword. What this will do is it will multiply num with num, and it will return whatever the value provided by num multiplied by num to this particular calling method. So however, when that particular method returns, or that particular function returns a value, we need to store that somewhere, or we can print this here. Okay, so let me execute this. This will also print 4. So instead of that, we can also store this into a variable. Val is equal to square of, say for example, 5, and then we can print the value here. Okay, so this method gets called, square method gets called, and this is the value which is passed as number, and then it will multiply number by number, that is 5 by 5, so which is 25, and this return statement will return 25 back to this calling function, and whatever the return value will get stored into this return value, and we are printing that return value here. Let me execute this, and this will print 25. So this is how we can return a value from a function.